Hi, my name is Karen Thompson, and I was born in Lynn, raised in Lynn. I've lived in Lynn all my life. I have fond memories of going down Barry Park all the time. As the third child of six, there were six in our family, and I always felt safe there. And I have this feeling that if you do pass this bond and fix up some of our parks, that the more kids that come there and the more good that are around tends to make the bad go away eventually. I also heard a lot of people talking about all the children and our youth, and that is very important, but I wanted to touch aspects on, I am the treasurer for the Lynn Park softball team, and we play at certain parks in Lynn all the time. And back in the day, there used to be hundreds of teams, and it dwindled down to a small amount. We use the parks constantly, and we do need them repaired. There's a lot of times that we can't play. We have to forfeit games at the last minute. I just believe that if young people come out and see their parents or their uncles or their aunts playing a sport, they know that the parks are going to be there when they're all grown up and for their kids to play at as well. So I think that that helps with the youth in Lynn. Colt is going to speak too on behalf of the men's team. I handle the women's team. And I'd just like to say that there's a lot of times the lights are out, we can't play, the bathrooms are clogged up a lot. I mean, I've been down there picking up the field on my own, raking the field on my own. And I just want to see more teams come, and I want people to be proud of Lynn. We've lost a lot of teams going to Peabody. So I just figure that the parks are a really good investment. How many times can you say you live in a city that you're on an ocean, you have a Lynn Woods reservation, and you have plenty of parks? They're overcrowded now because you've got soccer, you've got flag football, you've got Spanish soccer teams, you've got the classical girls, you've got so many people wanting to use these parks. And I really think that if you fix some of the parks, you'll be able to spread them out, and it'll be a lot better for everyone involved.
First of all, sorry for my parents. I wasn't aware that I would be on TV. I've actually gotten several texts. Sorry, Mom. Karen stated things beautifully, elegantly. As the president of the league, I've heard many stories from several people about how this league used to have 150 teams. This was the best league around. And now I hear stories of what is the process of you guys getting the league to go, and by you guys doing the fields and helping out with the stuff along the lines of that, we would be great, and we appreciate it, and hopefully this will get passed. Hopefully something will happen. And again, I just wanted to come up here. She reiterated a lot of things. I've heard a lot of great stories about this league. We want this league to hopefully be back to that where it was, and that way people come from other areas. Peabody, they come from Saugus, they come from all these areas to be a part of this league. And thank you.
Good evening. My name is Seth Albaum, and I'm speaking just as a resident of Lynn tonight, although I have been on a number of committees that have talked about how we can better market Lynn to the outside, how we can get more Lynners out and enjoying our Lynn Woods and our downtown. And we talk about materials that highlight some of our jewels that we've mentioned tonight. Come to the auditorium and see a show, but not in the summer. Check out the historic Lynn Common. It's too bad. No, just be careful. Don't go in the bandstand. It's not safe right now. Too bad about the fountain. We have a beautiful harbor, but yeah, the marina needs some work. And I can go on, as many people have. And I've never stood in a line this long and agreed with everybody before. This is the first time. So please vote in favor of this bond. We have an opportunity now to take care of the kinds of things that, when you're walking down the street, you look at a park, and it's not looking its best, and you think, gosh, why doesn't the city fix this up? Why don't they do something? That's what you hear people say walking by these parks. And we can. And the GAR, I know everything's been said about it, but I want to add a little something extra here. It's not just for us in Lynn and the schools that come and visit, but that is a national treasure. And that is a big responsibility. The GAR and the bandstand, we need to preserve that for the nation and not just for us.
Lifelong letter and a recent board run resident. When me and my fiance bought a house 6 months ago, we invested in our future. I see this bond as a chance for our city to continue investing in our future. As a coach and current I work in the city, I notice how important the parks, the playgrounds, and specifically Fraser and Manning Field. Having played there on both the Fraser and Manning when they were what they once were, seeing what they are now, it's the treasure of our city. The chance to spend money now without really increasing taxes and doing a lot of things we can do to make this city go forward without really affecting the current state of affairs. I get disillusioned a lot with kind of people standing still. I think this is a great opportunity for our city to move forward without really affecting the current state of affairs. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Bill Terlecki. I'm the general manager of the North Shore Navigators. And first, I can't stand up here and tell you that we're natives of Lynn. You know, we just got here. But I can tell you that a group from Chicago, Illinois has invested heavily in your community, and we're thrilled to be here. We're at Fraser Field every day, and I'd also like to commend all of you and anybody and all those that were responsible for including Fraser Field in this initiative, because I can tell you, as a person who's spent his entire adult life working in baseball, you have quite an asset in Fraser Field and the things that you can bring to your city because of it. And you know, and this will only enhance what we're trying to do at Fraser Field. The usage, the high schools, you can go down and it'll increase your ability to attract many other events into the community. And you know, I can only tell you that what we're certainly asking you to vote yes for this bond issue, but whatever happens, I can tell you that the Navigators will continue to try to add to the quality of life of the community, provide a positive place for families to go with their children, to represent Lynn proudly throughout the region, and just to provide just a great spot for, you know, this will just enhance our efforts tremendously in bringing players in and different things like that. We just, once again, appreciate the opportunity to just ask you to vote yes on this tonight, and the opportunity to be here in Lynn, and thank you very much.
My name is Bob Mathias. I am associated with the GAR, the Grand Army Republic. It's late, I'll be quick. You know, I look around here, I see the former mayors of Lynn. They go back to the 1840s or 1850. And one of the mayors, the 11th mayor, Roland G. Usher, was a member of the GAR. And he was also the mayor here from 1866 to 1867. And his photograph is on the 4th floor, along with 1,243 other photographs of Lynn members. The GAR was Lynn's first veterans organization, and today we have VFW, American and so forth. But everybody has something to see, so if you get a chance, just call us up and we'll let you take you through. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jim Bianchi. 50 years I've lived in the city now. And actually, I'm on the trustees at the Grand Army of the Republic right now. And my great-grandfather was actually, his pictures in the Great Hall down there. And going down there, I haven't been down there for years. My grandmother's family owned Brawley Construction was downstairs. We used to go up there every once in a while. And it kind of surprised me of how badly the building, which kind of shape that building is in. As a trustee, with the mayor's help, we're trying to get a grant through, which is going to have some matching funds, but in the meantime, there's could be some problems on it as far as losing some of those photos, some of the plates because of the water coming into the building. I think some of that has been worked on. Again, I've only been on the board for 3 months now, so I'm still trying to get up to speed. But I hope that we get some funds there to help preserve that building. It's in pretty rough shape right now, and looking forward, getting it to be handicap accessible, maybe getting an elevator put in the long term, so it can be used more effectively for more people. And I hope you can support the bill. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katerina Pinchatakis Garnis, 64 Nahara Street. I'm also here representing the Building Historical Commission. I'd like to share a comment from the chair who wishes to make a recommendation, suggestion that many of the items on the list are on the National Historic Register, such as Linwoods, the Gar, and Commons, Fraser Field, and those properties will be eligible for a 50-50 grant from Mass Historical Commission, which would save the city up to $400,000. I'd also like to add there are some other areas on the list which I am beginning to research to inventory as a historic resource, and if there's a way to include the Historic Commission as a consulting agency in part of the rehabilitation process. And there is some things that are probably not, many things are probably not on the list, but one important structure is the Historic Council Part 10-footer, which is now dismantled and leaning against the walls of Lynn Tech. It's lacking funding. The students were getting ready to work on the rehabilitation of the structure. It's part of Lynn's history. It would make a great addition to, we haven't discussed the location yet, but most likely the Lynn Commons, if there's a budget under that. I think the instructor was looking at $5,000 to $10,000 for that structure. And I also wanted to mention Rhodes Chapel and Pine Grove Cemetery needs funding to remove the plywood off the stained glass rose windows that have been boarded up since the 70s. This could open up an opportunity to bring concerts, events to the public chapel. It is owned by the Pine Grove Cemetery is under the ownership of the city of Lynn as the community charter. And, one last example is Angel Memorial Watering Fountain in Washington Square. The Commission has made discussions in the past to designate this area as a historic district to help improve the area and promote an important gateway to downtown from Broad Street. The area just of it, I think it needs some attention. And I'm very I agree with most of what everyone said here tonight, and it shows the culture of the Historic Commission. We're not just promoting buildings and materials, but promoting preserving the culture that the people enjoy, and that has existed since the beginning of the settlement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Corey Jackson. I'm the Managing Director of Arts After Hours, theater, music, entertainment group downtown, and I'm a downtown resident, live right across the street. I just wanted to talk about a few specific things and then something in general. But the specific stuff, I mean, Bill talked about the Navigators and the new ownership, and himself being here just a short while, but with the work they've done just this year, it feels like they've been here forever. And I'd like to see any improvement done to that facility. Would be a win-win for the city, as they are bringing thousands of people downtown to that area of the city. It's affecting the downtown restaurants. It's affecting everybody's quality of life, and I think it will improve the tax base of our city. The auditorium air conditioning is another fine example. We should not be dark 5 months of the year from May to September. It doesn't make sense. Every time there's an auditorium concert, I cannot park in front of my building. I want to have more parking problems. So the more nights of 2,100 people we can have in Lynn, using Lynn as a destination for their entertainment needs is phenomenal for the entire city. And where we see it, it's impacting local businesses. Tatiana's, Blue Ox, all the restaurants downtown are packed on auditorium nights. We can't get reservations anywhere. There is new businesses coming in that are citing the auditorium as a reason to develop in the downtown area. So anything we can do to support the auditorium's use in the summer months would be huge. Lynn Woods, we just did Shakespeare in the Woods last year for the first time. We produced 12th Night in the Rose Garden in the amphitheater. Beautiful facility, major problem not having bathrooms for our patrons. We did use the special needs camp, which was a generous use of that space from the city. We had to rent it, but it was reasonable, and but that is not ideal, and that does not service anywhere heading the other direction at that Pennybrook entrance, as well as it not being open unless somebody rents it. So we really need first-class bathroom facilities in that area if we're to produce more work out there from a theater perspective. We do plan on being there next year, using different spaces in Lynn Woods, and that leads me to my final point. Almost everything on this list is a destination, and a lot of the grant money out there right now is about placemaking. It's about finding places to bring people, to let people experience their community in a different and interesting way. And so many times, as Arts After Hours, we're looking at these facilities, but something's broken or something's bad about them, and almost everything on this list, if improved in the ways stated in this bond, could be a new facility, a new venue, a new opportunity to bring people to Lynn to experience something very unique, something else that can get featured on Chronicle or anywhere else. So I definitely support this bond, and I hope you all do too. Thank you very much.
I think only tall people build podiums. You hear me okay? Okay. I'm not going to talk about the GAR. My name is Cheryl Ransom. I live at 589 Essex Street, a few doors down, Ward 5. I moved here 7 years ago from Salem, and when I was looking, my family had concerns. They said it wasn't safe, they worried it was dangerous. They were very concerned. So I did what any sane person would do. I completely ignored them and bought a loft condo in the downtown. Why did I do that? Because I believed in Lynn. I saw its potential. It had emerging art, culture, music, fantastic people. I saw it on Chronicle. And I read some good things about Lynn, and so I listened to my instinct. I took a risk, as many others here tonight did. 7 years ago, I took a chance on Lynn. I invested in Lynn because I saw its potential, I believed in its potential. And tonight, I just ask that you please do the same. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Susswag. Before I start, I want to thank Mr. President and the members of the council for giving us the opportunity to speak on this very important issue. First off, I want to speak that I'm in favor of the bond and for the past tonight. Many years ago, Lynn was a prosperous city. That was a destination. But somehow, it went off track. Tonight, I really feel that the president is not only back, but that is in sight. With the right steps and leadership, we can once become a thriving city and a destination in its own right. What concerns me is that some people aren't willing to make the necessary changes to make Lynn a better city. Or worse, there are other people that are critical of what is going on, but they bring nothing to the table on how to make it better. Change is either good or bad. But without change, things will always stay the same. And I don't know about you, but Lynn can't afford that. Lynn is quickly losing businesses to other nearby cities in bad word of mouth. From those who cannot travel here to begin with, are changing of plunging down further down the hole. At this point in history, we can't afford that. There's a great chance in 2 to 3 years that this is going to be $1 billion casino resort mere minutes away in Suffolk Downs. Think about that. A $1 billion resort. This is the time to fix up the marina so we can start to develop the waterfront as an alternate route. Order air conditioning in the city auditorium so we can get the casino guests to come to the auditorium all year round. More importantly, if you ever want to see the blue line come to Lynn in our lifetime, we need to make an attempt to tie it in with the casinos and have them help us pay for it. Congressman Tierney has said that he has the federal money waiting for us. So anyone thinks that Caesars, Steve Wynn, or any other potential casino wouldn't see the benefit of having the Blue Line to win, a city with over 100,000 people to help lower the cost of transportation, that they could spend that money in other avenues would be foolish and naive. They would make their money back in one fiscal quarter, and collectively the residents of Lynn would save thousands of dollars a year to invest in local businesses. Fixing up all the playgrounds is a good way to beautify neighborhoods and giving kids a safe place to play and stay out of trouble. They are truly our future, as many people said tonight. They deserve good facilities. Lynn is a beautiful city with only a bad rap, made by people that only see the negatives that the media portrays on the TV or front pages. It is time to take control of that image, and so people can say something good about Lynn. In closing, I want to leave you with this scenario. Imagine a rock legend like an Elton John, Phil Joel, Paul McCartney, or Bruce Springsteen wanted to do an intimate solo show at a small auditorium. They are considering the Lynn Auditorium, but they want to do this in office. Right now, we can't even take that call because we don't have air conditioning. How ridiculous would it be like if we had the opportunity to have one of those rock legends in this very building that we are standing right now? Don't think that those men wouldn't like to do that, or bands such as the U2 or Aerosmith wouldn't consider this auditorium a secret venue. They've been doing it all the time over the years. Many places right around in the Boston area. Wouldn't it be cool to have one of those in? I would say so. So I'm asking the council tonight to do the right thing and build on the good things that we have already for a bright future land and vote yes on the bond bill. Trust me, you will be ready. Thank you for your time.
David Gass, I'm director of the Highlands Coalition. I just want to point out that 30 years ago, the Cook Street Park had a terrific plan and was rebuilt. What happened after that? It slowly declined to the point that at the end, some of the equipment, the remaining equipment was burned. Thanks to Councilor Trahan, he helped rebuild it and helped to paint it. Recently, the Highlands Coalition got permission from the Parks Commission to build a community garden at this park, the first one in 70 years in Lynn. If we build a community garden, we hope that you consider doing the same thing in other parks, because that will be a way to bring people to grow food in their backyard, to improve health, improve nutrition, to educate people about food and what they can do. This would be a very important criteria, I think, would be to put some of the money aside for that. Secondly, what we plan to do, in order to get our garden, we went door to door, and we had 140 people signed a petition saying we wanted it. We did grassroots work. As you know, plants grow from the bottom up, they don't grow from the top down. So we want to do grassroots work, and our goal is to form a Friends of the Park. It's very important to preserve what we're going to put money into. If you're going to put $1 million into parks, you need to bring youth down for athletics, you need to bring people down for other reasons, using it as a garden or whatever you do, and to try to form a group that will protect that park and protect your investment. The final thing is that I hope you set aside some money to hire youth to work in the park. Because last summer there was less money coming from the federal government to hire youth, and if we're really going to get the kids into the right direction, we need to offer them jobs. One person, one good athlete and leader can bring 50 to 100 kids to the park, as we know from baseball and other activities we have. So I suggest you do that. My second hat is as a resident of 150 Linway in Seaport Landing. I was there when it was dedicated 30 years ago. The marina was terrific, it was in excellent shape. It raised millions of dollars in fees and got a lot of pleasure from people putting their boats they could, and Councilor Kalucci knows that. It's declined to the point that we've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue each year. The state has put a commitment into that. We would like to see commitment from the city that would rebuild that precious investment we have. Thank you.
Resident all my life, and I just really want to get the parks taken care of. In all the years I've been in this city, and after college and came back and started working with the kids in the city, I saw the parks when they were first renovated. Well, now they are a little bit deteriorating after 20, 30 years, and we run a summer program with over 600 kids. Every June, I get on these parks and I can see after the winter, the concrete has separated more and more and more. So what do? We ask the Park and Recreation Department to at least fill them in with sand or something. It's dangerous, but we have to deal with it because I know there's no money to fix it. But now we have an opportunity to fix all the parks in the city. And I hope you all vote in favor of our youth in the city and get these parks the way they should be for them. I mean, there are programs, not just basketball. They use these fields for football, tag football, everything. But my concern, we run our programs on the two worst courts in the city, Breed and behind English High School. If you ever take a ride and pull over, look at the courts, and you say how dangerous it is. And it scares me to run it because you can twist an ankle, cut your knee. I mean, we've had incidents, but we have an opportunity to do this. I hope you all vote in favor of this and give our kids for the next generation and something that we never had when we were young.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, citizens of this great city of Lynn. My name is Joel Henderson. I'm the head B squad coach for Westland Pop Warner. I am also the EMT on the field. First, I hope you guys would vote in favor of this because I'm not sure if you guys realize in the past 10 years, Westland Pop Warner has won several state championships. We've sent 3 teams 3 years in a row down in Florida, but we lost. What you probably don't know is these kids are down there practicing without lights. That's ridiculous. We practice half the amount of time, but we're better than most of the teams out there. That's shattering these kids' dreams. If we could practice the same amount of time as the rest of the teams, we could actually bring home the gold to this city. So hopefully you guys will vote in favor of that for that. I also wanted to stand in front of you because I was one of the kids that played basketball on these courts when Mr. Bird was talking about. We used to have gangs back then. We decided not to fight, and that's how the Hogan tournament was born. So we took our frustrations out on the basketball court. I talk to the kids now that I coach. I'm saying, hey, why don't you guys go play basketball? Why don't you do that? Oh, our courts stink. They don't even got nets down there. I sprained my ankle last time down there. And that seems to be the reason why these kids aren't in the basketball courts and in your parks. I also worked at the youth detention facility in Harvard Street in Dorchester. Most of those kids do not go down to parks because their parks stink. So that seems to be an ongoing trend. Parks stink, kids don't go down, they get into trouble. So I'm hoping you guys do vote to clean up our parks.
Mr. President, City Councilors, my name is Dave Dorgan. I come before you tonight wearing 3 hats. Firstly, I'm a father of 2 young boys in the city. They use the parks in the city, and in that capacity, I'm before you in favor of the bond. Secondly, I'm a taxpayer, a homeowner in the city, and despite what likely will be an increase in my taxes, I come before you in favor of the bond. And thirdly, I am the president of the Lynn Shore Little League. We play at Kiley Park. And the problem with making a list is there are people who are on the list and there are people who are not on the list. Tony behind me and I are in the latter category. But despite that, I speak to you in favor of the bond. What I am here before you to ask is for a matter of record to bring to your attention that Kiley Park, we've spent a lot of time bringing this program back from its ashes. Kiley Park has some significant infrastructure issues. I'm not going to list them. The list is in front of the community development. I've worked very closely with them. They've been very, very good
to me, to the program, to the kids in short. But if I may just bring one thing to your attention, in very short order, there's going to be an issue brought before the council for a new junior high located on Brookline. Most of my hitters will hit a baseball from home plate and hit where the new building would be. I say this to you only because in addition to the 200 kids in the program, the 250 children we see at the playground every day from August to October, from April to October. We're going to bring roughly 1,000 more kids within a stone's throw of Kiley Park. We can barely support the children that we have playing in our program today. So I would ask that you keep in mind, I know, Madam Mayor, you mentioned that it's not a fairness issue. I respectfully disagree. It is a fairness issue. It's what we teach our children to play fair. Tell them, run fast and turn left. Play fair. So I just wanted to bring it to a matter of record that I am in favor, despite not being on the list. I am in favor of it. And I would ask that the committee use the doctrine of fairness when it's time to disperse the funds for maybe those people who aren't on the list. And if there's money left over, that you consider that some of that money would go to programs like mine in Wyoming. You know, as a kid that played at Pine Hill, if you asked me then whether I would be up here representing Lynn Shore Little League and defending Wyoming, I would have said it's a long shot. But thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. My name is Tony Luciano. I am president of Wyoming Little League. I'm a resident of Lynn. I have 3 children that play in the parks in Lynn. I'm basically here to speak on Wyoming Little League for the executive board. When I looked at the list that came up, I know they just said if there's something that comes in on the budget, there'll be other parks that be funded. Well, a lot of the other parks, they qualify for grants, community development money, but I've been told in our section we don't qualify for any of that money. So when I heard about the bond, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't anything on there for the Ward 1, which I live in, except for the basketball courts in Magnolia. I don't know if anyone drives by Gowdy Park. I think I could stand in center field and someone could lay down at home plate and I couldn't see them. The field is sinking. Definitely needs work. Fencing. The fencing curling up at the bottom. We do the best we can. We have a great bunch of volunteers. We work on the parks constantly during baseball season and even after. We just did, with our own funds we saved and we scraped this year. We did the field over at Ryan Fish Field. We put all new grass and 20 feet into the outfield. But as the chief said earlier, trying to keep the kids off the street. We started a soft fall ball program and we invited all the other leagues to Lynn to our park to play fall ball. Problem is it gets dark, you know, in the fall. We could host state tournaments, we could keep kids off the street. If we could get lights at our Rhinefist Field, we could play a lot longer in the year, a lot later at night. Let the young kids play early, the older kids play later, and just get more usage out of the field. Pickering Junior High uses the field in the fall, we would have to bump them or coordinate with them about their softball program. And I would just ask that if there's any left over, you consider, you know, Wyoming Little League and the fields up there. Thank you.
I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I have something I want to say. To borrow Martin Luther King's words, I have a dream. I have a dream for the city of Lynn that I think everyone else shares. Cook Street Playground became viral with the fight that went on for the girls that transferred from English to the playground. That's never going to happen again because of what the coalition is going to do. I'd like to see that happen to every park and every child in this city, every teenager have a place to go to play and be safe and stay off the streets in trouble. All I can say is that I'd like to see that video replaced on YouTube and all over, maybe even Chronicle coming to the city as one of the best cities to come and live and be safe. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak in favor? Anybody else in favor? Seeing no one else wishing to speak in favor, I close the public hearing for all those in favor. Open the public hearing for anybody in opposition. Anybody wish to speak in opposition? Anybody in opposition? Seeing no one wish to speak in opposition, close the public hearing for all those in opposition. Close the public hearing. So wish of council?
Motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Council Seer.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I want to say I agree with everybody who came up there tonight.
In the microphone, please.
I'm
The microphone.
sorry. Except, first of all, I'd like to agree with everybody that came up here that the city should invest, that we should have an plan. And I also listened to everybody who came up here. One of the things one of the speakers said was how excited they were about how all the parks were included in this plan. That's not true. All the parks aren't included. I have 4 parks that are in my ward. I'm a councilor for Ward 3. The sign on my back says Lynn, but it also says Ward 3, and I represent all those people. I am not opposed to any of the things on here, but as one of the speakers said, and the mayor spoke about fairness, I believe in that, and I think the people of Ward 3 deserve some of this money. I really think that some of that money should be put into the parks. Because those parks are the destination points for the kids who live in those neighborhoods. Williams Ave, nobody's done anything, the city hasn't done anything there in years. There's no, but little swing sets are in there, or slides, are so old that they wouldn't even meet the standards of safety for these kids. The state ever came in and inspected them, they tell us to pull them out. The benches are falling apart, they're dilapidated, the little court that's in there is all broken apart, and you always see that nobody has respect for that park. I'm asking for an amendment that we put $75,000 to this bond for Williams Ave. I'm also asking that we increase the money for Clark Street from $50,000 to $150,000. And the reason I'm asking that is because there's a baseball field that Eastland Little League uses that hasn't been fixed, or the city hasn't really done any work there in over 30 years. The fences need to be fixed. The field is unsafe for the kids to play on. The sprinklers are broken down there. The tennis courts, there's no net. They have to be resurfaced. All the play area equipment is either broken or been vandalized over the years. I agree with what the chief says, that if we fix our parks and we invest in them, that it gives the kids a place to go, and they may respect it. I also agree with what Dave Dorgan said, as president of Winshaw. He's done a remarkable job down there. He's done a remarkable job with the Winshaw Little League. He's brought it back to, not the days of the glory that it once was, but he's brought it way back. He's got kids really working down there and interested. As he said, you can go down there any day after school, you'll see a couple of 100 kids in there, playing on the basketball court, playing on the 2 baseball fields, on the tennis court. I'm asking for $150,000 for Kylie Park. Because I see they're giving $150,000 to some of these other parks to fix up, basketball courts, tennis courts, and baseball fields. And another park that I have that's taken care of by volunteers all the time is Goldfish Pond. The sprinkler system there doesn't work. The sidewalks are broken and cracked. I'm asking for $25,000 for Goldfish Pond to be amended to this, which comes out to $350,000 for Ward 3. When you're talking about $4 million being and I know it's not being divvied up equally amongst the entire city, or all 7 wards. But as I said, I represent the people of Ward 3. They deserve to have their parks fixed. If the taxes, and I don't care if it's going to be $5 or $500, if people's taxes are going to be risen because of this one, and I believe they are because we have to pay this money back, they deserve to have these parks fixed. And with that, I make an amendment that we add $350,000 to this bond for the parks that I mentioned in Ward 3.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion on the amendment. Councilor Creighton.
Mr. President, I'd like, before we focus on the amendment, we didn't get a chance, as is customary, to ask supporters in the audience, many have already left, by a show of hands who's here in support. I'd like to afford that opportunity.
I'll allow that point. Anybody who didn't speak who wants to show it by a show of hands that's in support of the bond, who didn't speak? Thank you very much.
And further, just quickly, I wanted to read this in the record along with the support. We had a number of letters that were sent by people who couldn't make it. I'm not going to read the letters, I'll just quickly say Dominic Finelli, who's a cross-country coach of St. Mary's, wrote a letter about the track program up in Lynn Woods. Catherine Lyons, who's Lynn GE volunteer on the Lynn GE Volunteer Council, also voted in favor of Lynn Woods. Ralph Fleur, a downtown resident, wrote in favor of the Veterans Auditorium air conditioning. And Tim Ferrari Jr., who's the director of Project Yes, which deals with youth in the city, wrote in favor of the parks improvements. So I apologize for not speaking to the amendment, but wanted to get that read into the record. I'll provide this.
No apology necessary, that's fine. The clerk will take those. The floor is still yours, Councilor.
That's it. I wasn't speaking.
Okay, there's a motion that's been made and amended. Any further discussion on the amendment? Councilor Ford.
Councilor Sears' amendment to the $4 million cut.
Yes. Well, if this is approved, and then this is just going to change the amount of the bond, which would be, at this point, $4 million, if I'm doing this right, $375,000. If the amount goes to $4,375,000, as the mayor indicated, per city charter, this would then go on the ballot, and the voters would decide whether or not to approve this amount of money. Anytime the money goes over $4 million by charter, that's the requirement under the law. Councilor Ford has the floor.
I would ask my colleagues not to support this. We have something started here. We're accomplishing something. There's nothing personal here. I don't think anything was left out. When Councilor Creighton called me 3 months ago, I thought it was a great idea, and I slow-balled it, trying to work with the council to get together and get things added to it. I don't want to see us go backwards now. We have to start somewhere, and let's start tonight and get some work done.
Councilor Sear.
Thank you, Mr. President. I can respect what Councilor Ford just said, but I also am under the impression that 2 bonds were given to the city. One is for the McManus Field, which is $400,000, and the other is for the bandstand for $225,000. I know the mayor said that we don't have that money in hand, but I also understand that it's been approved. That's $625,000 right there. And if it does put us over the $4 million, and it does have to go out to vote, and Councilor Ford said that he felt as though all the councilors were involved in the process. I wasn't. I wasn't asked what my ward needs. I don't think anybody from Ward 3 was asked what they need. So I'm asking my colleagues to give the people who live in my ward the same thing that they're trying to give to everybody else. That's all.
Any further discussion on the amendment? Councilor Ford.
Just a point of information to Councilor Capano. We recently were talking about McManus Field. We were looking at some used car lots, and I've waited 5 years for a grant money to fix debris in courts, and it's never happened, and we seem to be having trouble drawing on any grants. And I would be concerned not only for the work I'm hoping to have done, but the Council Capano, that money is in the bank. I'd be worried about going over.
Council Capano.
Yes. There are certain places that are going to get fixed up, certain parks, but they're not all the parks in a certain area. And like Council Ford said, we have to start somewhere, and the mayor has indicated that she would be open to using some of the free cash that we have in the city to do it. So I would suggest, talking to her. She seemed open about doing things, like that to support some of the other parks in the city. I know that McManus Field, every year comes back, unfunded. I mean, there are grants available for other parts of the city, but that doesn't mean we get them. I mean, there hasn't been a dime spent in that area of the city that I can think of, at least since I've been in the council. They're the same issues. Swings that have fallen apart, merry-go-rounds that don't work, The parks are not a place where people want to take their kids, and, this is one park that could get fixed up. There may be a grant available, but I haven't seen anything yet. Hopefully that will be available. But I think this is a good start. We've come a long way, and I don't think it should be the end. I think we should continue to invest in a lot of parks in the city, all of them. At some point it should be a goal to make that a priority. Like everyone said before, everybody had the same theme. It's a quality of life issue that we need to do a better job. And this bond is a good start. This is a good start to improving the quality of life for the citizens of the city.
Councilor Knapp.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier, I got a phone call from some other councillors who asked for support for amendment. I would agree to it, but studying for further and also listening to other public, and also plus we have been working on this bond for since summer, so I feel that we should not stop right here. We should not continue on, and I appreciate for phone calls and spoke with me to ask for the support, and I feel honored for that. But at this point, I feel that we should not drag any longer, and this is a good start, like Councilor Capano said, and the rest of the public. So I agree. So since we have been working on this, like I said, since summer, and I'm a part of it as well. So I 100% support this bond. So we should put it to work, so because it's good for the city and provide jobs for our constructions, and also for a good, clean and safe parks for our children. And I think we should go for it. Thank you.